I'm a big dog, big bear, nigga on the line. I'm the predator of the prey that is hiding. Oh my, I have found you, nigga.
Working.
Hey guys, yo, what is up? It's your boy Moodsy back at it again with another Dragon Ball Super review. And yo, this time, I actually expected to go into this one hating it so much. However, you know what I always say, you can do any idea in the world. Any idea can be done. However, the only thing that makes an idea work, it's not the idea itself. It's the way you execute the idea. Now, this idea by Toyotaro that was executed, I think it was done beautifully. There's one glaring flaw, something that is a little bit infuriating. However, because of the mess of this arc that we had, I cannot see a better way for this arc to end. Like, yes, they could have summoned Gogeta to end this fight. They could have even used Vegito. They can somehow use an alternative way, any sort of like way, like a spirit bomb sort of like hacks move, you know? Goku charging, Vegeta trying to keep gas busy for the final blow. Maybe like a final Kamehameha, Goku using the Kamehameha, Vegeta using the final flash, they merge together. You know, there are a lot of different ideas that you could have went through. So it's all good, but the way you make an idea work is the execution. And I wish I was not spoiled with the Frieza bit in this manga chapter, because the way that Toyotaro did it, he did it with the way that you did not expect it. It was just so smooth. It just came up. I felt invested, even though I already know it. I felt invested and I felt hooked, and I felt a lot of like tension through that scene. However, I must say, we'll get to it when I get to it. I still do not agree with the way that Toyotaro did this in terms of like, there was no build up to this. There was no proper build up, let's say. There was some sort of build up, but there wasn't much proper build up with Frieza coming. And I'll explain that shortly, but we're gonna review the manga chapter. However, there is also one point that I want to mention, is that I will give props to one of my friends on Twitter. I haven't been using Twitter in a while, and I'm so sorry guys. I just lost my Twitter password, and I haven't been trying to I just did not feel like getting back to Twitter, but I'll probably get back to Twitter very soon. But yeah, I had this, one of my followers there, also follow them as well. He told me that Frieza is going to be the final antagonist in this manga chapter, and he's going to be one-shotted. That is sort of like half true. I was right with the fact that Gas is the actual main antagonist. He still remains the main antagonist of this manga chapter. He was sort of the strongest in this universe. In a way, technically, he was the strongest in the universe, strongest at one point, but he actually did get one-shotted by Frieza. I think we could have seen like a little bit of, what do you call it? Like sort of like a foreshadowing for Frieza to come, but there wasn't much foreshadowing. That I did not believe that Frieza will show up. But the way he showed up, I think it makes it up, because again, it's about the execution, so we'll get there. So, in chapter 87, as we think that the fight is over, you see Vegeta acting like himself, saying that I will hone my skills until I prove myself superior. Basically, Vegeta regurgitating like the classic Vegeta stuff. Like, I don't know, Vegeta has devolved into a Vegeta vending machine where you just click the numbers and he just says one of the classic Vegeta lines. I don't know, there's something about Vegeta. I think a lot of people might like it because it feels like this is a Vegeta thing to say, but I think that's the whole thing about his character. It's just Vegeta saying Vegeta things. You know, again, this is not much of a criticism. I just think it's just a little bit hilarious. But anyways, we see Granola taking a lot of toll and damage to his body, and Goku and Vegeta go right up to him and like, yo, what's wrong, dude? And Granola explains how the final attack really did take much out of him, and he actually used a bit of his life energy to fuel that attack. So I do really like that. I do really like that there was some sort of like consequence behind Granola using that move, or supposedly the finishing blow. But yeah, as we know, Minatio, again, nobody's correcting me of his name, so I'll just keep saying different pronunciation until somebody corrects me. So Minato comes in, he says, oh, let me just try to heal you. And it appears at first that he cannot heal him. They're like, everybody's like, yeah, you're a scrub, you can't heal, we're too powerful for you. But the dude's like, oh, hell no, I can heal you much better now, almost instantly, which is kind of weird. It felt like just a plot device, just like, okay, Totaro was like, you know what, let me just give him the power to insta heal so I can just move on with the story. Again, this is not something that I would say I have a problem with, but it was just used a plot device. But like, hey, if you want to give the dude insta healing technique, whatever, man. I mean, Dragon Ball is giving free forms, free transformations, free power-ups for everybody, so you might as well give the old Namekian a healing like upgrade, so no problem with that, I guess. Yeah, but while the old Namekian gets the upgrade, Totaro will be like, you know what, I'll give you the Frieza treatment, as we see like a callback of a character getting the death beam. Remember on Planet Namek when Piccolo in the anime got, even in the, I think in the manga too, but yeah, in the manga, sorry, I'm just gonna go on a tangent. In the anime, Piccolo saves Goku from the death beam and saves his life by shoving Goku to the side and getting hit. In the manga, Frieza just hits straight up hits Piccolo with the death beam. So yeah, this is sort of like a reference slash callback or whatever, but it was a shocking moment. I like it because once again we see that Granola isn't dead and he's sort of in this mummified version of himself. This is like an interesting shot of Gas as we see him, just his body almost decaying. And for me, I called bullshit at the beginning. I was like, how is he that powerful? Because we see him going crazy. He looks really crazy. He reminds me a little bit of Moro in his sort of design when Moro got like fucked up. But yeah, he starts like fighting against the Z Fighters or against Goku and Vegeta and Granola, and he seems very, very powerful. Like he's just using his magic to his full extent. He's like wrecking Goku and Vegeta. Like Goku and Vegeta had to even use their forms. Goku's using Ultra Instinct Sign while Vegeta's using his Ultra Ego form, and they can barely fight against him. It's like he's not taking any more damage. But as we soon realize and know that Gas is basically using whatever life energy he has left, so he was basically destined to lose anyways. So I do really like that. I do like the fact that it wasn't sort of like it was bullshit that he was powerful. No, it's actually he is losing a lot of energy and he's sort of like killing himself by fighting. And this is something that Alec explains. And when Alec explains that, actually Gas hears that and he gets concerned that he's actually dying. And we also see like a scene where the other members of the Heaters, they come up to Alec like, yo, stop this, it's not normal, the dude is dying. And Alec just, I'm not a huge fan of Alec. Like I thought there was gonna be a lot more to him than just this. You know, he's just sort of like the typical one-minded villain. Like he's evil, being evil. Like I would like it, I explained this before, I don't want to like be regurgitating again myself, but I keep saying how much I hate that the villains in Dragon Ball are just like muhahaha, you know, like that kind of evil, like without any depth. Like you can still be evil and we can sympathize with you. Like I feel like Totaro doesn't understand that, yo, you can create a complex villain. It doesn't, they don't all have to be like muhaha villain, you know? So that's why I didn't like how Alec was devolved into the just evil maniacal who's only for himself and only cares about his own ambitions, which is, again, every villain has their own ambitions, but when a villain just devolves to the same, every single villain just devolves into the same character, it just becomes really boring and predictable, which I really personally did not like that at all. But also this serves to the fact, I guess, because they want us to have the satisfaction of him when he dies, but then again, let me be sad for a character to be died. Let me hear his story. Let me know that Frieza probably killed his parents, and this whole plan is just to basically try to take revenge on Frieza. Why not? Why not give us that Alec is doing this because his parents were slaved, his home planet was destroyed by Frieza? Like, do something interesting, you know? Again, this is just an idea. But anyways, like I said, Gas realizes that Alec says that he's dying, and he realizes that his body is decaying. And that's when, again, Alec says, and stop screwing around, you gotta go kill them now, don't be you worthless scum. I did not like that. However, this is what I really like. When Gas is screaming and saying, waste any time, and before you know it, he's gonna, then he stops, and we see a shot, like a full shot. I really like when Totaro does that. It really reminds me of the Naruto manga. The Naruto manga does that a lot. Like when you flip through the pages, if a big moment happens, you see it like in the next page, in like a full single page, you would see like a full drawing. And it's just the way that Frieza just descends just so smoothly, so quickly. This is like one of the most badass like battle entrances, and I hope the anime does justice. You know, if Totaro did not execute, like the whole Frieza coming out of nowhere, I hate that idea. But the execution here makes me like swallow this a lot better, from just Frieza just showing up and Totaro not giving us any sort of like effort and giving us any sort of like logical explanation why he's here all of a sudden. But anyways, everybody's shocked. Us, the viewers, are shocked. And I hate you guys for ruining this moment for me. Like the freaking Instagram pages, the YouTube pages, they always like to just spoil everything. Anyways, so Frieza just shows up and he says it's been some time, Gas. So he's really aware of all of them. And Gas gets really insane and crazy, and he says he shifts his target from the Saiyans, and he's tried to kill Frieza. And in an instant, we see a close shot to Frieza's eyes and Frieza's face, and I do really like his face, how his face is drawn. He looks like a demon, Frieza. Yo, this is sort of like giving me like Frieza is being like, this is bringing back a villain and giving him the respect. I watched The Resurrection of F a couple weeks ago, and I hated that movie, by the way. I hate it. That movie's garbage, by the way. It's freaking garbage. And the new material that Dragon Ball's coming up with is making that movie more garbage for me, because the new material is much better. And Frieza coming back and having this new form that we just see in an instant. He has this black aura around him, and he just kills. He just strikes Gas right in the stomach and goes through him, and you can see the blood coming out. Yo, I dare Toei Animation to do that. Yo, Toei Animation need to do that. If they don't do that, everybody's gonna be like, yo, we prefer the manga. Everybody's gonna slander Toei Animation's anime, and they'll be like, you know what, Totaro is the OG, Totaro is the best. So Toei Animation need to step up, to be honest. And y'all, right after that happens, you see just a close-up to Frieza's face, and then on the side of the panels, you see Gas just decaying until he becomes a skull and a skeleton, and he falls, and you can see even some of his bones are on like Frieza's body. And then just Frieza looks at him, right down at him, just walks up to his skull and just mercilessly just crushes his skull. Yo, that imagery, yo, this is insane. This is insane. Like, Totaro, props to you. The fact, like, this is how you execute an idea. He has balls of steel for doing something like this. Like, from what I've seen in Dragon Ball has been really tame lately. It's been really, like, aimed at children. Like, it has been criticized for being, like, even more childish than ever. And I think this is the kind of stuff that makes this is the kind of juice that Dragon Ball needs. So, Frieza just looks at Alec and be like, yeah, what's up? You're the one who contacted me here. So, let me ask you, what do you want? Right after killing his main henchman, like, he just one-shotted. You just one-shotted his number one, like, weapon, just crushed him. And Alec just completely bitches out. And I think this was hilarious. And just Frieza walks up to him and says, yo, do you have a legitimate reason for summoning me here? So I feel, by the way, props to Totaro again, like, I cannot praise him enough, because this is sort of like the psychology of Frieza and his dominance. Like, this in the way he talks, the dialogue itself, like, establishes dominance. Like, sometimes it's not all about feats. Like, sometimes I complain that Dragon Ball doesn't show us enough feats sometimes. But yo, dialogue like this shows the dominance that Frieza has over the universe. And everybody's shocked, and he's just acting like, yo, yeah, tell me, what do you want? So he just walks up to Alec and be like, yeah, I got bad news for you. It looks like your biggest weapon is in the dust. And he just comes up to him really fast, and I also really like that. And you have this, like, black background against Frieza, and Frieza says, I've known about all your ambitions for the last 40 years. You think you've been using me, but in fact, I've been using you. And Alec is like, yo, no way, and he gets really scared, and Frieza like just adds more insult to injury. He's like, yeah, I know another thing. I also know the fact that you're the weakest of the heaters, and that's when Alec just loses it. He does the most dumbass shit, and he tries to like, why did you try? Like, what would like at least, you know what? I actually hate this scene. Like, at least give us a scene where he gets a knife or gets a weapon or something. At least he's gonna like he's gonna try to slash him, you know, unexpectedly, or trying to get a hit on him, or trying to like stab him with something. But even Frieza gets up. You know, Frieza can be cut in half and he wouldn't die. He can survive the harshest conditions. But anyways, Frieza just demolish him, kills him. How Trunks killed him before, like just like, you know, makes him boom into nothing, just demolishing him. Nothing remains of a freaking Alec. So yeah, that was actually a really awesome scene. So Frieza turns his attention right to Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta are obviously shocked, and Vegeta also says something very interesting. Vegeta's convinced on the fact that gas has become the strongest in the universe, and he says that multiple times, and it feels like he was envious, and in his mind he feels a little bit annoyed that someone out of nowhere became the strongest in the universe, and Vegeta was set in his mind that he wants to surpass that guy. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Frieza comes and shatters that completely. So Vegeta's obviously questioning that and says, how could gas not be stronger than you? And I think that also mirrors a lot of what other people are thinking before realizing what Frieza did. So Frieza says something interesting. He says, oh, well, maybe in this universe he was the strongest, but I guess it doesn't count because he was training in another universe. And I think, I was actually wondering this because the Dragon Balls made him the strongest in the universe. But Frieza was not in this universe. He was training in a hyperbolic time chamber. By the way, fucking kudos. How hard was that? How hard was that they gave a fucking reason to why Frieza was strong? That bullshit from Resurrection of F that Frieza trained for 4 months makes me sick to my stomach. They could have easily did something like this. And you know what's the funny thing? Is that those Dragon Ball fanboys, by the way, I'm a Dragon Ball fanboy, but you know those Dragon Ball fanboys who defend the show no matter what they do? I've been preaching so many times that he should have at least trained for a couple years. He should have been like off-camera training. I even suggested when people say, "Oh, that can't happen. It messes up with the timeline." Whatever. It's not like Dragon Ball does not mess up with the timeline. Dragon Ball does not have any problem with freaking remodeling Goku's origin to being Superman's origin. They have no problem with that. But no, making Frieza train for more than 4 months, that's an issue narratively. So yeah, it's funny that I also suggested that he should have trained in something like the hyperbolic time chamber, and I got mocked. I got made fun of. I got called names, as obviously you know. But however, when Dragon Ball does it, it's suddenly the greatest thing of all time. By the way, it is also great. I know. I'm just talking about these people. So yeah, at least Piccolo, Frieza does train for a bunch of years, and he gets this power. So it feels like it was earned. It doesn't feel like it's one of those ass pulls, even though it is kind of. But the fact that Toyotaro came out of his way to give you a logical explanation to why Frieza is stronger than Gas, and also how he got stronger than Gas. So I really like that. Alright, so remember in the beginning of this review, if you actually listened to my review in the beginning, I said any idea, and I mean any idea can work if you execute it correctly. So while it is a little frustrating that Frieza just ends the fight like that, because it felt like it didn't need to be that long. The fight with Gas could have been just 5 chapters long. The whole fight, with everything, could have been 5 or less chapters, maybe like 3 chapters at most. But anyways, back to Frieza. I really love the pose he says. He says that I needed a bit of a power up, then he goes to a really awesome pose. And he just like waves his hands and he just goes into Black Frieza. And I absolutely love this shot. This shot looks incredible. It is an incredible shot. Now, the color Black Frieza, I felt like, I don't know, he's gonna look weird. I feel like he wouldn't look he would look weird. Like, I don't think anyone has pictured Frieza in black ever in my life. Like, even the dudes in Xenoverse that play Xenoverse games, they never have the black color scheme. Maybe they did it for the name. Black Frieza rolls off the tongue more than any other color. But I felt like if he was more of, let's say, platinum, you know, like a silver-ish, you know, platinum-ish kind of like form, that would have been a lot sexier, to be honest. Like, platinum is more valuable than gold, so, or it's considered like higher than gold platinum. You know, like when you play PlayStation, you know, the trophy, you have the golden trophy, and what comes next, the platinum trophy. Or maybe it could be Diamond Frieza. I know Diamond Frieza sounds really dumb, sorry. But Platinum Frieza sounds cool. I feel like Platinum Frieza is the way to go. Like, I feel like that's a higher version than gold. Yeah, I digress. Frieza just goes super fast, and he completely just one-shots Ultra Instinct Goku's sign, which is supposed to have, like, really amazing defense, and just one-shot Vegeta. Now, both of them, let's say they're not full power, but still, for him to one-shot Gas, one-shot Goku, one-shot Vegeta, and basically is the official contender of the strongest fighter in the universe, is potentially stronger than Beerus. I don't know, like, there's something with Beerus, the show likes to jerk him off, so Beerus could be the strongest character. Like, there is never going to be a time where Goku is stronger than Beerus or any character. We don't know because it's really stupid. But from the show and the power scaling and Jiren being as strong as his own God of Destructions and the God of Destructions having comparable power to each other, like, Black Frieza is a lot stronger than Jiren, like many times. Black Frieza can one-shot Jiren, who's stronger than his own God of Destruction, so Black Frieza should be stronger, a God of Destruction tier character. So Beerus being still stronger, it doesn't matter. What matters is that these characters are on the level of God of Destruction. That's what matters, you know? It doesn't matter in that case. But anyways, just Frieza turns off his form and he just says ciao, bye. And this is where I have problem with this manga chapter. I felt like everything else was spot on in terms of like execution of the idea, but here's where it fails. Frieza should have just killed them. It's so stupid. Like, he knows about Gogeta. Like, this should be canon to the Broly movie. This should be canon, should know. Frieza should know about Broly. I think there's like a line or there's like an indication that the manga is, or the movie of Dragon Ball Super is canon to the manga. But yeah, Frieza just goes, and he should know that Gogeta would wipe the floor with him. Like, it doesn't matter how strong he is, Gogeta's gonna wipe the floor with him. So for him just to be like, oh, I want to, that's not Frieza's character. Frieza is not a character who wants any challenge. So I think that's just really dumb and really stupid. He fails in that regard. In that regard, Frieza should have, like, there should have been like a little bit like a better explanation or a better reason for Frieza just to leave. Like, for him just to one-shot them and be like, yeah, I want to fight you again. It's just not Frieza, you know, it's stupid. There should have been like a different reason. They should have been saved by somebody. Maybe, I don't know, not even Granola, to be honest, can stand up to Frieza. Maybe Whis just comes and saves them, even though he doesn't do that, he doesn't interfere. But yeah, speaking of Whis, Whis comes and he heals. He says, I'll do this for you, Goku, and he heals the Namekian. And just Goku and Vegeta just leave with Whis, and Whis tells them about, like, maybe the strongest in the universe isn't even Frieza. Maybe there is someone else in the strongest in the universe. So basically teasing on the fact that we've sort of been gaslighted, you know? Hey, it's a funny joke, gaslighted, you know? They gaslighted us that Gas wasn't the strongest in the universe. So yeah, it's just an interesting chapter. You know, this chapter is, to be honest, I didn't expect to give it such a high rating. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It was really good. I hate the fact of Goku just looking in the scouter and seeing his father. That's absolutely freaking dumb. Hate it 100%. If you like it, good for you, but seriously, it's really dumb. But anyways, yeah, the chapter ends. I'll make a video, by the way, on the second channel as well, just discussing the end of the chapter, just reflecting on the Granola arc, the Granola Survivor arc, and we'll see. Yeah, we'll talk more about it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, then please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.